is green. That is green. That is green. And alerts are out. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a Sunday night edition of League 1. It's season 13, week 11. And due to technical difficulties, our regularly scheduled Friday game has been moved to Sunday night. So we will have for you number 1 ranked Syracuse at Boston College. The Syracuse Orange having a fantastic year under Coach Spectre. We're gonna have take a quick look at Boston College, see what they're up against, and then we'll get kicked off. Navy are on a bye this week. They'll come back next week. I believe their scheduled game back is against Memphis. So, without further ado, here is Coach Spectre to give you a rundown of the Boston College Eagles.
Hello, sports fans. Coach Spectre here. Going to give you a rundown of Boston College. Number 1 Syracuse coming into this game. So far, so good. We've got 4 games remaining, though, in the regular season, trying to make it to the ACC championship game. This is a rivalry game on the road. We expect to get Boston College's best shot. They're led by Anthony Brown, the sophomore 84 quarterback. Although he is fragile, both he and the backup, mobile quarterbacks with similar arm strengths. Wade has already seen a little bit of action. Brown, the impact player, 16 to 11 touchdown to interception ratio, 223 yards a game. And on the ground, he's still getting 44 yards a game. So he will take off and run. At the halfback position, A.J. Dillon, the impact player, in 88. He's coming into the game, 56 yards a game and 5 touchdowns. And he's definitely a part of the passing game with 30 yards per game through the air. Fullback position covered by Ray Martin. Wide receivers, Walker, Smith do most of the action. They're getting about 50 and 60 yards respectively. But Tommy Sweeney coming in on the hot streak, the 93 tight end, getting 53 yards and most of the red zone targets. The leading receiver for Boston College, and you can see why. He's a dominant tight end. Another one of those coming out of Boston College. They've produced a number of quality tight ends. The offensive line a little bit banged up. They've got senior Aaron Monterio, and Sam Schmall is hurt along with Elijah Johnson. They're missing 2 guards. That's the second and third best guard, because as we continue, we'll see a 77 center. And then the linchpin of the offensive line, Chris Lindstrom, a 95 overall, All-American, all-everything right guard. He's going to have to help out Austin Stevens at right tackle.
And the center. He's got a lot of work to do.
The center as well. Zach Allen, 88 left end, and an 81 impact player right end. They're going to have to do some work because Ray Smith is out, and Cohee and Kenny will be playing. Martin, not so hot at the left outside. Impact player at middle linebacker probably has to pick up a lot of slack and gets a lot of tackles. He does have the 1 pick and 1 sack. Butzer's hurt, but he's actually going to be playing today. He's a quality outside linebacker. And Cheevers leads the secondary along with Torres as quality cornerbacks. That's a freshman, true freshman 74, nickelback in Stephen Blunt. Jamin Muse is a potential weak spot at free safety, but he's protected a little bit by Will Harris coming in on the hot streak. They've got a quality kicker. And this rivalry game on the road presents a challenge. It always does. That you can throw the records out. This is good, clean, old-fashioned hate. And we're just going to do the best we can to get through this game. I think we're going to make it a goal not to have any turnovers, but we'll see how that goes. I'll hand it back over to Coach Ninja, and he's going to rock out the play-by-play tonight. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Coach. And without further ado, we'll get kicked off in this Week 11 rivalry game. The Eagles, by far their best aspect of the game is their passing offense, as they're 42nd in the country. Everything else is in the 60s or lower. But on the other side of the ball, you see that the Syracuse Orange are number 2 in points for, number 3 in points against, and number 1 in yards against, with top 30 pass and run, but those together combine for number 5 in yards per game, because they're doing a very balanced job between how much Dungy throws and how much Dungy runs. Number of visiting prospects here for the Eagles: a tight end, a D-tackle, and a wide receiver. And their top 3, Lindstrom and Sweeney, going to put together a show on offense, and the left guard, Schmall, injured. Hofrichter, as always, the number 1 player on the team, of course, for the Orange, followed up by Dungy and Strickland. A sunny and clear day in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, home of the Boston College Eagles, and Hills and Chestnuts. Boston College 3-1 in the division. Their overall record 4-4, but they've got a shot here in the ACC Atlantic. They got to fight it out, of course, with Syracuse, who's currently 4-0.
In 1863, we're here at Chestnut Hill on the beautiful campus of Boston College for today's matchup. And now it's time for the coin toss, and it's brought to you by Coke Zero. Real Coca-Cola taste, 0 calories. Enjoy everything.
Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch.
See how this game plays
On
out.
this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's gonna make the fucking difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that inch. And I know if I'm gonna have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is.
Kobe White gets reception for 2 yards as Green gets pressure on the quarterback.
You gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're gonna see a guy.
And Brown is sacked for a loss of 6 on the second play of the game. Green comes in and takes out his legs.
You're gonna do the same
Spanning more than 10 successful seasons and covering the country from California, Ohio, North Carolina, and Virginia, this is League One NCAA football.
It's third down, 14 to go. Ball on their own 21.
Third and long here for the Eagles. And Kobe White gets a second reception, but 4 yards isn't enough. It's going to be 4th and 10 from their own 25. So far, we're seeing a shotgun set without anyone lined up in the tight end position. Not clear whether or not the tight end Sweeney is actually on the field. Metcalf takes the punt, and he gets a 7-yard return.
Syracuse got a guy that's in a running for a national award here, Herbie. And, the best time to talk about awards really is after you win them. Right now, it's all speculation. You just got to play the game. The quarterback leads the team out on the field for the first drive. The quarterback in the gun, empty backfield, 5 wide receivers in the formation.
Custis, 5 yards on the drag route to begin the game for the Orange. After that, Boston College punt.
Second and 5 coming up here. Ball on the 46-yard line.
Shotgun spread. Handoff is to Strickland. Defender comes off of his blocker. Nathaniel, this is our second year with these schools and these rosters, but it is overall across all versions the 13th season of League One.
This guy had a huge year last year, but look at him now. He looks bigger than he did a year ago. Look for him to have a huge year.
This is also, we started this with the 2017 rosters that were created by wonderful people on the internet. So we see a shotgun halfback week here from the Orange, now in Eagle territory. And Dungy keeps it on the read option, has lots of green space, and decides to slide. After getting 9 yards, makes the safe play. 2nd and 1. Shotgun split offset here. And again, Dungy keeps it. No space for the pitch as the pitchman was covered as well. Dungy falls forward in order to prevent a loss of yardage. It's 3rd and 1.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 1.
Short yardage, and we see a empty formation and only 3 down linemen for the defense, although some defenders creeping up. Strickland, the tailback, out as a receiver, comes across in the drag, catches the ball, and gets 5 yards and the first.
Making it look so easy.
Another spread set here for the Orange as they let the play clock get into the red. Metcalf in the backfield. He looks for a gap and gets 3 yards when there's not a whole lot of lane for him to find.
From the 29-yard line, 2nd down.
A 3-3 now from this defense on 2nd and 7. Strickland comes out of the backfield, makes a cut, and the catch gets 7 yards, make it 3rd and inches. As the Orange are diligently moving this ball downfield. Shotgun normal halfback weak against 4 down linemen. And Blunt jumps the drag route, and the wide receiver heads up play to keep that from going back for 6. Kobe White with his 3rd catch of the game. He's got all 3 pass attempts from Anthony Brown, but only a total of 9 yards. And Jeff Smith makes a miracle sideline catch on the end as we now see the Eagles hurrying up after that 3rd and long conversion. And Brown is sacked for the 2nd time. Green gets in on 1st down.
One of the keys to this game was for him to get the
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. Another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, gonna get to do. Another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
And hit as he threw. That was Tommy Sweeney there, who got the 11-yard reception. That's the tight end. Looks like he's playing out in wide receiver. And Smith, in one-on-one, makes the cut and gets space to convert the 1st down.
on the same page as his quarterback as they both saw the double outside linebacker blitz come.
And Smith back-to-back catches now. That one was for 8 yards, makes it 2nd and 2 as the Eagles continue the hurry up down the field.
And they bring him down for a sack on the play. Big play there by the defensive end to get into the backfield and get the quarterback.
It's amazing what this kid can do on the field. Don't let his youth fool you. He's good.
And a fantastic play by the defense to push back the Eagles 6 yards, make it 3rd and long after 2nd and short.
This is the 10th play of this drive.
That's Smith's 3rd catch of the game so far. That was 15 yards, makes it 1st and goal. And they go back to Kobe White. 6 points, Eagles.
And he tacks on the extra point. Let's throw out to Reese now for a studio update.
Let's take a look at some action in the ACC. And for North Carolina.
Not great years for either Virginia Tech or UNC, or Michigan State or Ohio State. Down by 7 after giving up possession on an interception, Schumacher takes it out of the end zone. He tries to break the edge at the sideline, gets to about the 28.
The quarterback comes back on the field, and I'm sure he's hoping to make up for that interception on the last drive.
Shotgun split big here. 2 tight ends, 2 backs. Dungy keeps it. He's out in the green space. He's in the flat. He's got a one-man to beat. Gets great 24 yards into enemy territory after a fantastic run by Dungy.
His arm with this guy at PYP, pick your poison. First down, 10 yards to go. All on the 48-yard line.
Shotgun ace here as Strickland motions into the backfield. And Strickland takes the pitch. He's way out there on the triple option.
He's all the way. Touchdown.
And just like that, the Orange respond.
Syracuse is ready to kick it away.
Hoff-Richter kicks it. It was squibbed. And a 13-yard return on the squib by Jake Burt puts the Eagles at the 45-yard line. An interesting play call there by the Syracuse Orange. We'll see what Coach has to say about it after the game. Jeff Smith, 16 yards. Kobe White, 4 yards and out of bounds.
They're trying to stop the run here with a goal line defense.
And White again, 3 yards and out of bounds as the quarter ticks to a close.
So at the end of one, we get a tie game at 7-7. Welcome back here. We resume action now here in the second quarter.
And Green, perfect timing, comes back around for the sack. That's his third of the game. It's now 4th and 10.
Another one bites the dust, and another one gone, and another one gone, another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, gonna get to two, another one bites the dust. Shoot up.
Looking to go up by 3. The kick is up, and it's good. The kicker looks like he's ready to kick this one off.
Metcalf catches it at the 2.
He's to the 20. He makes it to the
Gets to the 25-yard line. It's now 7:31 to go in the second.
Momentum swings have been fairly even, and with so little separation, this game can be drastically changed on just 1 or 2 plays.
Dungy scrambles out of the pocket. There's some space, and he slides after 8.
That scramble gets them 7 yards. receivers.
Dungy scrambling again. Hit as he throws, and it goes into the grass.
That incompletion.
Boy, they really pounded him on that throw.
Tommy Tanuvasa now in the backup. I formation on third down. Defense packs the box. Handoff is to Strickland. He goes to the outside and gets 4.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on their own 36.
Lofton in motion. It's another triple option. Dungy holds on to it, gets 5 up the gut as the defender was coming right between the quarterback and the pitch man, making that pitch very dangerous. The safe play by Dungy. Smart move on first down, making it 2nd and 5 as we see a heavy set 5 down lineman here for the Eagles. Dungy scrambles out.
Now he tries to buy some time.
And Pierce, Ravian Pierce, is out in space, has hit the defender behind him by a yard, catches the ball for 20.
The guy who had the best chance of making a catch.
First and 10. Ball on the 39-yard line.
Another motion triple option. Dungy keeps it again and goes forward for 6. Dungy moving the ball downfield, but not quite as necessarily explosive as some of his runs in the past, as Strickland comes out of the backfield and gets 7 yards and a first down.
26-yard line. That one goes for good yardage and a first down.
Yeah, that's just a nice gain on 2nd down.
1st and 10 now from the 26. 5 minutes to go in the half.
Here's the 8th play of the series.
Lofton across in the drag, gets hit immediately, holds onto it for 2.
From the 24-yard line. 2nd down.
Shotgun wide trips. Dungy scrambles. Throws it over. Ooh, and throwing it on the run, it is short. Harris gets underneath it and almost gets the pick.
When you have a chance like that, you need to take advantage of it.
Dungy, now winded, taking his time in the huddle on 3rd and 8.
Play of the drive.
Metcalf only gets 2. 4th and 6 from the 23. And the field goal unit comes out onto the field.
They'll try for 3 points. Syracuse is looking to tie things up.
And with a 9-mile-an-hour crosswind, Hofrichter puts it between the posts to tie the game. Boston College ball. They have 3 minutes, 45 seconds, and 3 timeouts. Hofrichter puts it deep in the end zone where Hillman takes the knee.
Well, he's just one of those defensive players that if you're an offensive coordinator, you're basically building your game plan around his skill. I think it has a lot to do with the way they're pressuring the quarterback. They're just doing a great job as a unit and not allowing this quarterback to get into any rhythm.
And he's done all of this in the first half.
And the first half is not yet over.
You don't want to make any mistakes that give the other guys a reason to feel more confident going into halftime.
Speak of the devil, that's number 4 for Green.
Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get to do. Another one bites the dust. Shoot out.
And this time Green gets into the backfield, doesn't get the sack, but forces the throwaway to make it 3rd and 16.
One right there, he's very fortunate. Next time
And the flag route for White gets first down and just a touch more right between some defenders. And the Eagles now hurry up. And another throwaway to the sidelines for Brown.
quarterback, and right now I think they've got him with some happy feet. He appears to be a bit rattled.
Second down, 10 to go. Ball on their own 42.
Even though they didn't sack him, the pressure was still enough to force him.
I don't know, that looked a lot like a sack to me. The ball got
Tougher time.
slungshot away, potentially by the way that Brown was tackled to the ground there. Once again, 3rd and long.
Gets it out in a hurry. Stays in. Made a nice catch.
That's astonishing if they call that a catch. And looks like we're going right to the challenge.
The referee initially calls it a catch, but we'll have a chance to take a second look at it and determine if he really was in bounds when he caught the ball.
Well, the side judge was standing right there, so I'd be surprised if he missed that call.
That doesn't look like a catch on the render. And they keep it. And that, my friends, is NCAA for you. The play stands. Ooh. Costs the Orange a timeout.
It's first down.
Once again, the Eagles squeak out of a 3rd and long.
And he's sacked.
Another sack for Brown.
Close to the record for sacks in a game.
Green's getting into the backfield, but the 3rd down is just killing the Orange.
And this play is number 8 on the drive.
And Dowells jumps and gets his hands on it, but can't keep him on it. 3rd and 18. Once again.
Well, they'll line it up again on 3rd down.
This time Frederick is there. He catches it. evens the turnover differential and makes sure that field position is favorable for the Orange.
From their own 20-yard line. First down.
The Orange now starting on their own 20-yard line in a shotgun wide trips. Dungy fades out of the pocket. Throws to the tight end. It is tipped away. That was close. Could have been a pick.
Something good may just happen.
Dungy didn't seem to get enough loft under it as he threw off of his back foot. Strickland comes in motion. And Strickland takes the pitch on the triple option. Gets to the edge but doesn't escape the angle. 18 yards. All right, split offset now. Another option, another pitch. Strickland tries to get out into the flat. He only gets 5 as 3 defenders converge on him out in space. Under 2 minutes now with a live clock.
They come out in a 5-wide set.
Jamal Custis on the drag route has a little bit of blocking that allows him to fall forwards, get the first down, stop the clock momentarily as we close the quarter in a few short minutes. Strickland out of the backfield. He gets a spin move, and it turns 10 into 20. Great play. With a minute 23 left, the Orange are now on the opponent's 32-yard line. They've still got 2 timeouts.
First down. Defense goes with the extra defensive backs as the offense comes up 5 wide.
Dungy scrambles out. He doesn't like the look out of the 5 wide, and he slides down after a big run.
Another first down, Brad. That's the 5th first down in this.
Everyone I see just walks the walk with grit and teeth, but I just stand by and I wait. By the time they say you gotta toe the line, they want the water, not the wine. But when I see the signs, I'll jump on that lightning bolt.
And that's Anoisi out of the heavy set. Catches the ball for the touchdown, standing up in the end zone. Just like they drew it up. It's now going to be 17-10. Boston College has 48 seconds, 3 timeouts.
By the power of Grayskull. Cringer became the mighty Battle Cat, and I became He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe.
The Eagles have been running hurry up the whole game on offense, and the question is whether or not they can get their 2-minute drill to work as A.J. Dillon loses 5 yards when the screen is read by the Orange. The Orange deciding to spend the timeout there to see what they can do now that they've got 2nd and 15. Sweeney 8 yards and out of bounds, makes it 3rd and 7. And the Eagles hand the ball off to Dillon on 3rd and long, and he gets a big gain. They surprise the Orange with the run, and it burns him.
From the 46-yard line, it's first down.
Another catch to Sweeney on the sideline. He gets 9 this time, but getting out of bounds stops the clock on 2nd and 1. The Eagles are on the Orange's 38. Another run by Dillon. It's good for 3 yards and a first down. Boston College spending a timeout to stop the clock at 24 seconds.
From the 35-yard line, first down. Hit and still completed.
Sweeney catches the ball and forces a couple of defenders to burn each other.
The wide receiver flew down the field on that touchdown connection.
Well, he has the speed to stretch the defense, and his hands are getting better every single game.
They'll line up for the extra point in an attempt to tie the game. He makes the PAT.
And with a couple of
6 plays.
good passes to the tight end on the out route,
Away with 7 points.
Boston College manages to tie it up on a 30-second drive.
Nice kick, plenty of distance.
Metcalf decides not to return it. The Orange have 18 seconds and 1 timeout. We'll see what they try to do here.
So their last drive resulted in 6 points. Do you think we'll see the same result on this one?
They ran the ball extremely well on their last drive, and until this defense figures out how to stop it, I think they'll have no problem moving the ball down the field.
The defense got some pressure and forced a bad
And he was open, but the ball was thrown off target, thankfully, away from any defenders.
It's 2nd and 10. Ball on their own 25.
Now the 5 wide.
They come out in an empty backfield.
Dungy doesn't like it, runs out of bounds. It's 3rd and 7. He stops the clock at 9 seconds.
Where you are in the game, got to stay in bounds and keep that clock ticking.
Benoist gets 17 yards, and Orange call their last timeout. 4 seconds left on the clock.
45. I guess he'll throw this one as far as he can and hope for a miracle.
And Cheevers makes the pick. Cheevers sitting on the route. Couldn't wait for it to be open. With only 4 seconds on the clock. It is a rivalry game, ladies and gentlemen.
17-17.
Glad to have you with us in the
Please do.
studio for the EA Sports NCAA Football 14 halftime show presented by Nissan. Innovation that excites. Reese Davis and David Pollock here completely locked in on that first half. This game's been everything we anticipated it being. Each team matching each other blow for blow. Just a one-possession game at this point. What do you expect to change things in the second half?
Well, it's always fun to watch 2 teams in 2 games and match up the hype. And we talk about it all week and how big this game is, and it's going to come down to players making plays. And you know, the big play is something that we continue to beat into the ground, and which one doesn't give that up? A lot of times, you know, games are lost and won by turnover and giving it away and making that crucial mistake. You can do
Boston College so far negative yards on the ground in just about half the time of possession, but the 2 turnovers, one of the things that keeping them tied, along with 194 yards through the air to 102 yards through the air for the Orange and 161 on the ground for the Orange.
Want, need, got to go get it either way if Brad and Kirk are there to deliver.
Take a quick look at the stats while Coach takes a quick halftime break. So far, the Orange leading in both first downs and total offense. And as we said before, a negative total rushing for the Eagles due to the number of sacks. They are, however, 18 out of 24 passing with 2 touchdowns. Both teams 66% on third down. And 3 picks, 2 for the Eagles and 1 for the Orange so far. And just 1 punt so far this game. Dungy at 111 rating with 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and a 62% versus Anthony Brown's 18 for 24 for 194, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. 75% makes it 162 despite being sacked 6 times. On the ground, Brown has been, as we know, sacked 6 times for a loss of 41. Dillon on the ground, 2 yards for 29. 2 attempts for 29. He's actually a very good running game when they bother to go for it because it's got a 14.5 yard average. On the ground on the other side, Dungy mostly scrambles and a couple of keepers on the triple option. Strickland a few handoffs and some pitches. They've got 78 yards each on 9 and 5 attempts respectively. Metcalf with a couple of rushes, but for only 2.5 each. Receiving, Strickland has 4 catches, whereas Custis and Anoisi each have 2. Lofton and Pierce with 1. So far, yards through the air, Strickland has the most for the Orange at 39, followed by Anoisi at 31. Boston College, 7 receptions by White with 6-yard average, 5 receptions by Smith, but that's a 14.6 yard average for Smith and a 16-yard average for Sweeney. Means they're getting big chunks to Jeff Smith and Tommy Sweeney when they're not getting dink and dunks to Kobe White. Defensively, 4 sacks for each of Torres and Blunt. Blunt getting 1 interception, Cheevers getting the other. On the other side of the ball, Green with 6 sacks and Frederick with 1 pick. And with tie ball game, Schumacher catches the ball and takes it out of the end zone. He gets to the edge. He gets to the 39-40 yard line. Solid return by Schumacher. Dungy comes out in the I formation, tight end on the right. Crisp, clear day here in Chestnut Hill. You can see the player's breath on the field as Dante Strickland runs right up the gut for 6 on first down. Flex bone here for the Orange. Perkins in motion. Dungy keeps it. Gets into the second layer. 10 yards on the quarterback keeper out of the flex bone for Dungy.
From the 43-yard line. First down.
Shotgun split big now. And Strickland reaches up and catches it out of the backfield. 9 yards on first down. Strickland making his paycheck tonight on that halfback angle route.
Short yardage situation here. Second down and 1.
Shotgun split. No tight ends this time. They're spread out instead. Dungy keeps it. And it gets dropped. Jamal Custis comes up with it, and they're saying it was recovered back behind the first down line. It's now 3rd and inches.
It's 3rd down, and they're about the length of the football away from the first down marker.
Handoff to Strickland, and it's a massive run on 3rd and inches to say, no, that's not not an open lane. I'm going to bust it back out to the other side, dodge the last man, and use him to block his friend, run it in for a touchdown.
When the East is in the house, oh my God. When the East is in the house, oh my God. When the East is in the house, oh my God. When the East is in the house, oh my God. When the East is in the house, oh my God. When the East is in the house, oh my God. When the East is in the house, oh my God. When the East is in the house, oh my God. Oh my God.
He sends this one deep.
An excellent touchdown run by Strickland to take the lead in rushing so far this game.
But they have to be thinking if they don't get something going.
We'll see what Boston College pulls out of the bag of tricks now in the 3rd. Another last-second throw by Brown to White. It's 4 yards. And some bruised shins for Brown. White this time jumping above the heads of all of the defenders. He gets another 6 for the first down. And Rodney Williams gets his hands on it, deflects it, but can't come down with it. As again, Brown gets hit as he throws.
From their own 41-yard line. Second down.
The pressure forcing the Eagles to go to those quick passes to the sidelines.
Gets it off of his hit. Complete.
Sweeney stumbles out of bounds after 28. Hit in the backfield and breaking tackles, A.J. Dillon still gets 4 yards on first down. And Kobe White, again, 5 yards. It's short of the first down marker, so it's going to be 3rd and 2. Play action. White has space and is tackled after a 20-yard catch. And Dillon takes the pitch and breaks a tackle and leans forward for the touchdown. An extra point will tie the game.
They got to him early, but didn't get quite enough of it. The extra point to tie this game up. And he hits the PAT. An 8-play, 76-yard drive, and they come away with a touchdown. Everyone's all lined up and ready for the kickoff. He's to the 20.
Schumacher dodges a couple of guys. Great spin move, gets him to the 32.
At the 30. Kirk, if this keeps going like it has been, we are going to have one exciting fourth quarter.
I just hope we
They call it the 30.
execution. It's a lot of fun to be able to watch these offenses make plays, and it kind of has that feel. Whoever does have the ball last and a chance to make a play can win this game.
Now's when you start to approach each drive thinking that if you take the lead, then the momentum you gain.
Dungy pitches it. And Strickland gets 2 yards, and the defenders stop him out in space.
From their own 32-yard line. Second down. The quarterback in the gun with 5 receivers.
Dungy is scrambling. He puts air under it. And Lofton, wide open downfield, 38-yard pass.
Slow down this drive.
Big pickup through the air. Made it 1st and 10. And a 5-wide set.
Dungy extends the play by scrambling out into the left flat. Hits the slant route coming across right to left just before he goes out of bounds. It's now 1st and goal from the 8.
First down, and they've got their eyes on that goal line.
Hand off to Strickland, up the gut, 5 yards. Makes it 2nd and goal from the 2. Shotgun normal, halfback weak. Oh, we called an audible, flipped the formation. Hand off to Strickland. Touchdown, standing up. Nope, that's not right.
And he adds the extra point. Here's an update from the studio and Reese Davis.
The Fighting Irish Syracuse come into today's game ranked 17th in the nation. Back and forth these two teams go, neither one giving an inch. We could be headed to a photo finish. Notre Dame has the edge, 26-20.
And we thank you, Reese Davis. Back to the action here. They line up to kick this one away.
And with 2 minutes left to go in the third,
And he got all of it.
Syracuse is back in the lead.
This one's going to be down in the end zone for a touchback.
However, on the last couple of possessions, the Eagles have found their offensive production and have been replying.
So much of the passing game is about timing between the quarterback and his wide receiver. Right
Brown is scrambling.
they are in sync.
He gets 3 yards, tackled by the linebacker.
Quarterback scramble gains 3 yards.
A.J. Dillon gets 1 yard on the ground on second down, making it 3rd and 6 now. An opportunity for the defense. And Green comes through with the sack, the one they needed, the one on 3rd down, to force the punt.
Another one bites the dust, and another one gone, and another one gone, another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, gonna get to two, another one bites the dust. Shoot out.
He gets it away, and this is a really nice punt.
Metcalf catches it and gets 6 yards on the return. Excellent field position, however, right around midfield. It's on the 37-yard line.
I don't think they're finished yet.
6 points and a pretty display of passing was a result of their last drive. Kirk, the expected
Shotgun ace here.
This quarterback is on.
Strickland comes in motion after being lined up as a receiver.
Is trying just
He gets a pitch.
maybe if they add just a
He gets a first down and is tackled.
might be able to force him into a mistake.
Strickland, faster than his blockers, couldn't get the blockers there in time to break him open wider. But an excellent play by Dungy to get the ball to Strickland on that triple option. Lofton now in motion. Pitch to Lofton. He gets 8.
around the 44-yard line.
Second and 2 now in the waning seconds of the third.
Will be out in the pattern as they're in the shotgun. Scrambling around. The cavalry's coming.
And Dungy has the angle
I doubt anybody will ever mistake this guy for a
to make the slide after the first down marker.
From the 40-yard line. It's first down.
Tommy Tanuvasa in the I formation. Handoff is to Strickland. He decides to go outside and gets stopped after 1.
9-yard line. So at the end of 3, the Orange
Strickland again with great vision running the ball 12 yards. Dungy burns one defender, gets 8 yards and slides. 20-yard line. The Orange now just inside the red zone. 7 minutes, 24 seconds remain in this game. They are up by 7.
So it's second down and about 2 yards to go.
Wide trips, handoff to Strickland. 6-yard run. He's got 157 yards on the day so far, on 14 rushes.
This is the 8th play of this drive.
5 wide receivers here for the Orange. Quarter in response. Dungy scrambles out. Butler comes back to it. Gets 12 yards and the first down to make it 1st and goal from the 4. Sorry, the 2. As the Eagles were attempting to keep everything in front of them there, and the scramble and the return by Butler opened up the play. I'm not sure what they called on defense there, but it wasn't a run defense as Strickland goes in standing up.
Do it now. Let's go.
And a good defensive possession by the Orange, get a 3 and out, which allows them to take a 2-score lead now in this game with 6.5 minutes.
They've stepped up today. They just seem to be dialed in to what this offense is trying to do. Good job against the run. They've been very physical. What I love is how relentless they run to the football.
So they're just about set to get the game going again.
Brown hit as he threw once again.
Better job of being able to read that defense and make quicker decisions. And especially when the defense starts to get pressure, you've got to either get rid of that football or check it down or take off and run with it.
It's 2nd and 10. Ball on their own 25.
4 wide receiver set. And Brown throws it away. It's now 3rd and 10 as the Orange continue to get pressure. Rodney Williams gets 2 hands on it but can't keep him on. That ball is deflected as once again Brown was hit as he threw, forcing a 3 and out. Again, as the pressure, unrelenting pressure from the Syracuse Orange all game now appear to have Anthony Brown jumpy in the pocket.
Running backs in the country. Already 3 touchdowns, and when he gets into the open field, you better look out.
Both teams are well aware that a score on this drive is going to create an almost insurmountable lead. This defense has really got to step it up and make a stop.
And Strickland gets caught outside of his blockers and loses a yard on the 1st down run. Looks like a wildcat here for the Orange. Dungy comes in motion. Throws on the back foot to Strickland, who has downfield blockers. He makes a spin move and gets 46 yards on the wildcat screen. And the fullback, Tyrell Richards, gets the check down for 4 yards to make it 2nd and 6 from the 6.
It's 2nd down, 6 to go. Ball on the 6-yard line.
Great run blocking by the line. It's the backers who eventually stop Strickland, but he gets to 3rd and 2. 4-yard gain on the run there.
So an empty backfield with 5 wide receivers.
Dungy is scrambling. And Custis scoops it off of his own shins for the touchdown, making it a 3-score game. That was a tiny window.
On the day. Real recognize real, and real recognize this kid. The Gamecocks pull it out by a field goal.
And it looks like they're ready for the kickoff. Sends it sailing downfield.
Down by 3 scores now. Boston College have 4 minutes,
For a touchback.
and they need to start getting creative. But the difference has all been this 4th quarter. Jeff Smith, 13-yard reception, and hurry up for the Eagles.
He scrambled. Now he's going to run and watch.
And Anthony Brown scrambles for 9 yards after a couple of missed tackles.
Fired quickly, and he's got his man. He's taken down.
And White is in space on his own defender, but gets tackled by somebody defending somebody else, as both wide receivers were moving into the same area. And this time, it's just thrown into the dirt.
Receiver's very frustrated. You can tell by his body language. He did everything he needed to do to get open to be able to make a big play. The quarterback just didn't put the ball in the money.
All that time in the pocket, but nobody to throw to. And Green tackles Dillon for a loss of 1 on second down. He's there to meet him in the backfield, mainly because he was expecting the pass. Yeah, great swat there by Bradshaw. Get his hand in, prevent the 3rd and long conversion. It's now 4th down. 4th and 11, no less, for the Eagles. And the reception's completed, but it is short. And that's a turnover on downs for the Eagles.
They punched it in for 6 on the last series. Can they do it again?
This offensive coordinator's got to be feeling so good.
Split offset here. We see the triple option, which was usually the call out of that formation. Strickland gets the pitch. He gets 2 yards as the defense is up on the ball carriers. They're looking for that triple option out of that formation.
Second down. Less than 3 minutes in the game.
And Strickland gets 8 yards and a first down on the halfback angle route out of that same formation. Metcalf goes up the gut for 3.
4 yards on the play. It's 2nd and 7. Ball on the 50-yard line. Pass complete.
And Perkins, the tight end, catches the ball for 5 to make it 3rd and 2.
Which is okay. It keeps the yards to go a little bit more manageable.
Heavy formations here, both sides of the ball. Strickland comes in motion. Dungy gets 2 yards, but not the first down. It's now 4th and inches. And they send the punter onto the field.
Looking to get some distance on this one and give his team the field position advantage.
The clock is live, and Boston College has neglected to stop it, losing about 40 seconds of play clock here. Sorry, game clock, I should say.
He hits a low one there.
And that looks like it's going to be on about the 12.
Long field to work with.
Boston College down by 3 scores. They have 3 timeouts, but there's only 47 seconds until they turn into a pumpkin. Ooh, and another swat there. The defender stops on a dime to get his hands in. It does stop the clock, but it's still 2nd and 10 from their own 12.
2nd and 10. Ball on the 12-yard line. And he is drilled.
Kobe White, 3 yards and a timeout. It's 3rd and long. We'll see what they can pull out of thin air now. they try the screen pass, and it loses 2 yards. The defenders are all there. 4th and 9 now, and they're just going to punt it away.
Hubbard is waiting for the snap. He gets it away, and this is a really nice punt.
And Metcalf has the ball.
They'll bring him down at the 43. Syracuse shown they're every bit as good on offense as the stats would suggest.
23 seconds left to go in the game, up by 3 scores. The Orange have the ball, but it looks like they are coming out in a play formation. Strickland comes in motion. And Dungy keeps the ball on triple option for 2 yards. Clock is live. Dungy scrambles out. Reception, I believe, is by Pierce before he goes out of bounds. Stops the clock at 2 seconds. Cheevers with one last pick as the clock ends. It's garbage time. That's a win for the Syracuse Orange. Thank you for joining us. It was a close game through 3. The Eagles hung in there and responded every time. But eventually, the hits on Brown and the runs by Strickland were too much for them to overcome. And they started dropping passes and giving up more sacks and giving the ball back to the Orange, who, despite a few turnovers, more than they like, pull out a fantastic 21-point win away at Boston College, Chestnut Hill. And a fantastic game by Strickland. Almost 300 yards of rushing yards for the Orange versus 0. Yes, 0 running yards. Exactly 0 running yards for the BC Eagles. Dungy at halftime had a passer rating of 111.6. He ends the game with 158.4. Strickland has 164 yards rushing by himself. Dungy has another 107. 4 touchdowns on the ground for Strickland. Strickland also another 102 yards receiving. Strickland by far the player of this game for the Orange. Green with eight tackles for loss, 6 sacks, and 1 pick by Frederick, 2 deflections by Bradshaw. Thank you for joining us on this special Sunday evening edition of League 1.